Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Welcome back. In the previous 2-3 classes, we have seen the sampling and reconstruction process. Now in today's class, we are going to see the hold operation, which is a part of reconstruction process, and hold devices. So let us start with the data hold operation. Data hold operation is a process of generating continuous time signal y of t from discrete time signal x of kt. So what is exactly done? The signal y of t during the interval kt to k plus 1t is approximated. So why it is required? Because we have at every sampling instant we get the exact signal. So at t equal to kt we get a sample. At t equal to k plus 1t again we get a sample, but in between there is nothing. Now if we want to convert it into continuous time signal, we need to approximate for the period between these. And how it is approximated? So it is approximated by an expression y of kt plus tau is equal to an tau raised to n plus an minus 1 tau raised to n minus 1, so on up to a1 tau plus a0. So it is approximated as, how it is approximated? By this equation. So for nth order hold, I can say that this is nth order hold device. Now if it is first order hold device, y of kt plus tau will be a1 tau plus a0. For zero order hold device, y of kt plus tau will be a0. Now what we have is, say for example, now in this case what I have to mention is where this tau is always between 0 and sampling instant t. So when tau is equal to 0, we get y of kt plus tau is equal to x of kt, and the same remains as it is. So what I can, till tau becomes t. And when tau becomes t, I get y of kt plus t is equal to x of kt plus t. So also I have and so what I get, if it is so, then for zero order hold we get a0 is equal to x of kt, and that means for zero order hold the same signal x of kt will be hold till this tau becomes capital T or till the next sample comes. So let us start with the zero order hold. What is it? It is a whole device which holds the discrete time signal x of kt till next sample comes, and thus it converts the discrete time signal x of kt into continuous time signal y of t. So what I can say now, if say for example, if I have, or let us see its operation. So let me have x of kt as, say here, 0, then at next sample let this be the signal, then at next sample let this be the signal, and next sample this be the signal. Let us consider only these signals and it is continued. So if this signal is converted into continuous time signal y of t, then how? So initially it is having this sample, so let this be 0, let this be t, 2t and 3t, so third sample, and then if this is the signal, then till the t comes, let us mark it t, 2t and 3t. Till the next sample comes, it will hold the same value. Then at t equal to capital T, this is the signal here, and the same signal will be hold till the next sample comes. At the next sample, here is the amplitude, this is the amplitude, so it will move to that point and it will hold the same till the next sample comes, and at next sample this is the amplitude. So again it will hold till the next sample comes. So this one is the input, I will write it here, input to zero order hold, or this is input to the zero order hold, and this is output of zero order hold. And now if I want to write its impulse response, then its impulse response can be sketched as Gh0t is the impulse response, then it is equal to 1 till t, and it is 0 otherwise. So I can write this as Gh0t equal to 1 for 0 t, it is equal to 0 otherwise. So the same can be converted into the unit step functions as Gh0t equal to u of t minus u of t minus t. So u of t is the unit step signal, it will move till the end, and u of t minus t is the delayed unit step with sampling t, delay time t, so it will be this one. So if I do the subtraction, this portion will be eliminated and this I will get. So what is this? This is the impulse response of zero order hold device. And then if I want to find out its transfer function, zero order whole device is one minus e raised to minus st by s. And now let us prove this expression, how to get this GH0s, and we will obtain it by three different approaches. The first approach is very simple. We have seen that transfer function and impulse response are the Laplace transform pairs. So if this is the impulse response, its Laplace transform will be transfer function. So it is Laplace transform of u of t minus u of t minus t, and that is equal to Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s minus Laplace transform of u of t minus t. So it is delayed by time instant capital T. So it is by shift in time domain property. I get this as e raised to minus st by s, and that is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus st by s. Now let us go by a more theoretical approach, and it is more correct or appropriate. So I will call this as second approach. In this approach, what I get, let us consider the process. Let x of t is the original signal which is sampled with sampling instant t to get x star t, which is also equivalently represented as x of kt, and this is applied to zero order whole device having transfer function gh0s to get y of t, that is the output signal. Now in this operation, this is a discrete time signal and this one is the continuous time signal. So if you want to get the y of t for this input, we have to apply convolution sum. So the expression for y of t can be written as, we will do it by convolution sum. So it is y of t equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity. Why to go by convolution sum? Because one of the signal is discrete in time. So we cannot go directly via the convolution integral. And it is x of kt into impulse response is gh0 t minus kt. So this is the basic formula of convolution sum which we have implemented here. And then let us substitute here the expression for the impulse response, which is u of t minus u of t minus capital T. So here t is replaced with t minus kt. So gh0 k minus t with k minus kt with t minus kt will be u of t minus kt minus u of t minus kt minus t. So in the expression of impulse response of zero order whole, we have replaced this small t with t minus kt to get the term for the convolution sum. And now what I will do, I will take the Laplace transform on both sides. Or let us do one more simplification. This will be x of kt into u of t minus kt minus u of t minus k plus 1 t. So here this t is taken common and I can write like this. And now I will take Laplace transform on both sides. So taking Laplace transform on both sides, we get Laplace of y of t is y of s. and we cannot take Laplace for this directly, so we will keep it as it is, k equal to 0 to infinity x of kt, and then we will find out the Laplace transform of this term. So this particular term u of t minus kt, this is a delayed version by kt, so this will be e raised to minus skt by s, and for this it is delayed by k plus 1t, so this will be e raised to minus s k plus 1t by s. And now in this case what I will do, I will take e raised to minus skt common, and then in bracket I get 1 minus s minus, this will be e raised to skt is taken common, so only e raised to minus st will be there by s. And now this particular bracket does not involve any k, so it can be taken outside the bracket, outside the summation. So it is 1 minus e raised to minus st by s into summation k equal to 0 to infinity x of kt e raised to minus skt. And this particular I will purposely make here a bracket, and the term in the bracket is a star Laplace transform for x of kt. So here I can write this as 1 minus e raised to minus st by s into x star s, where x star s is the star Laplace transform of x of kt. Now from the diagram what I get, from this diagram I get GH0s is a transfer function, so which is a ratio of Laplace transform output to Laplace transform input. So what is the Laplace transform input? It is a star Laplace transform. So this is x star s. Now what I have got? Y of s is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus st by s into x star s. So which is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus st by s. So it is proved. By one more approach we will do the same. So in the third approach, what we will do, we will apply certain input. Now we have got that from the diagram what we have to say, that GH0s, that is transfer function of zero order world, is the Laplace transform output y divided by star Laplace transform input x of kt. That is GH0s is equal to y of s by x star s. So what we will do now, let us apply some known input, and for that known input let us generate the output of whole device y of t. Then let us take their Laplace transforms and take the ratio. We will do that. So what I will say here, I will consider let input x of kt is equal to u of kt, and that can be sketched as, say this is k x of kt, and this is nothing but because u of kt is the unit step. So it is nothing but equal to 1 at every instant. And now if I want to hold this, I will get the output. T y of t. So here this is the first sample. It will hold till the next sample comes. Now next sample is again the same. It will hold till next sample, again it is same. So output is the unit step function in continuous time, and hence what I get, y of s is nothing but Laplace transform of u of t, that is 1 by s, and star Laplace transform x star s, by definition it is summation k equal to 0 to infinity x of kt e raised to minus skt. This is the definition of star Laplace transform. And here what is x of kt? X of kt is 1 for all k. I will mark 1. This is 1. This is 1. So this will be equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus skt, because this is equal to 1 at every instant. And now I have to expand this series. So I have one expression. We have summation k equal to 0 to infinity a raised to k is equal to 1 upon 1 minus a if mod a is less than 1. And same way here, due to negative exponential of e, this property holds. So we can apply this series with a equal to e raised to minus st. So x star s is equal to summation k equal to 0 to infinity e raised to minus skt, that is equal to 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus st. So we have obtained y of s, we have obtained x star s, and then gh0s is equal to ratio of y of s and x star s. So that is equal to 1 by s divided by 1 by 1 minus e raised to minus st, and that is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus st by s. So this is the third approach. You can go by any approach, but purposely I have taken this third approach because in case of finding out the transfer function of first order hold, we have to apply this method. Because for first order hold, we cannot get the impulse or expression for impulse response directly as we got it for the zero order hold. We could apply the first two methods for the zero order hold because we were in a position to get the expression for impulse response of zero order hold, which is directly not available for the first order hold. So for first order hold, what we will do, we will apply this signal, we will generate output, and using this approach we will find out the transfer function. But not in this lecture. In this lecture it is enough. In the next lecture we will see what is first order hold, its operation and its transfer function. Thank you.